I don't know. There have been so many spectacular, effective saves like this one. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for the country. And I'm happy for the group that we have created here and for what we produced out there on the pitch today. So well done to Mert. That's his job, to make saves. And we're very happy that he made a match-winning save in the final minutes.
So the coach also underlined the team spirit, and he said that we had an extremely well-organized team spirit. He congratulated the players, and he's also happy for the entire nation.
Two questions. Thinking back to yesterday's press conference, you said that you were relatively reserved about your tactical plans, but today, in terms of Arda Güler, you said that someone, even if they're talented when they're 15 years of age, it's important to be talented. Today you played with a back three, you had Kaan Ayhan, and was that the key to victory? And the question about Arda Güler, meantime, we've all spoken about his technical ability, his skill, but also his ability to inspire the team today, to fire up the crowd. That's hugely important for an 18-year-old kid as well. What are your thoughts on these two topics? Yeah, I've forgotten the first question. I'll start with the second and then you can remind me of the first. I think Arda played a superb performance tonight because he even had to do something a little bit different. He worked for the team. He ran more than I've ever seen him run in his career. So I'm very proud of that as well because he played for the team. And he also helped out the team physically. We know that he still needs to beef up a bit because he's still a young man. So I'd like to congratulate him for that publicly as well. I've already congratulated him full time, but watching it back, yes. Now the third defender, I've remembered your question. At times we defend as a five or masked, if you will. Often Kaan Ayhan plays in midfield and drops into defence. They often have players between the lines, and so the option was dictated both to try and stop Austria, and they were in possession, and they were trying to so we could cut off these passing lanes, having an extra defender so that we could then push on the fullbacks. And then in possession, we were able to do so. We were able to keep the ball a bit more. We had an extra man, therefore, to be able to keep the ball a bit better. That was in the first half. We succeeded on that score, but gradually we did so a bit less. So I'm very proud, as I said, in terms of the spirit that we showed on the pitch. That's exceptional, outstanding for a coach when you're able to see that. So I think besides our formation or besides our game plan or tactics, because we had all that, we were able to score early doors. Austria were one of the teams that has scored the most goals. They're one of the teams that have conceded fewest goals in the last 13 minutes from set pieces, yet we scored twice from dead ball situations. There are a number of things that panned out, but if you don't have the team spirit, these things don't come to pass. So I'm very proud. I saw Turkish heart today, and that's what I love about this country.
Correcting the interpretation, in the first minute when we had the goal, we were able to score. When you look at Austria and the last 13 games, Austria was a team that did not concede a goal from set pieces, and we were able to score twice from set pieces, and we also broke their streak of not conceding goals, so we're happy about that too.
Congratulations, because you're the only Italian coach to have made it through to the quarterfinals. And you beat opposition that you lost 6-1 to 3 months ago. You did so without your captain, your key player, your star player, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. What has changed over the last 3 months, apart from this move to go with a three-man backline or a five-man defence? We were heavily maligned and criticised in our friendlies because we came up against teams that were all taking part of Euro 2024. It was an arduous choice, but we'd done so in the past as well. The friendlies didn't pan out particularly well. So the peak of that from a negative perspective was against Austria. That was a horrible stain on my career. That was the team that I was really waiting for to try and get this monkey off my back. It really was a stain on me and my coaching career. So I respect Austria, I respect their head coach, I respect their game plan, the tactics that they implemented on the pitch. But, you know, we head coaches, just like footballers, we are competitors. And I had that real competitive instinct within me, deep within me, because I wanted to change this result. It was only a friendly, but there's no such thing as a friendly at international level.
Well, first of all, congratulations. You made us all very happy, and we got revenge from Austria. Maybe you did, but we feel relieved as well, equally. Now, people are curious as to what's happening in the locker room and what you're feeling deep inside.
No, I just wanted to interrupt you. I don't want it to be misinterpreted. This wasn't us exacting revenge on Austria. This was actually me setting things right because I'd never lost by this scoreline.
Correction. So please do not misinterpret what I'm saying. When we talk about winning this game, we are not talking about revenge. It was just me on a personal level getting back. So I'm very happy about this win.
I said that it went beyond tactics and the game plan. No one gave up. Everyone gave a bit extra in terms of their soul. The team really had a soul today, and for a head coach, you know that there are matches such as these, and you can only win matches such as these if there is a soul within the squad, within the team. There's that belief, that conviction. I could go on all night, but I saw all of those attributes, and that makes me very proud to have succeeded in 8 matches, I think, I've been in charge of. How many games have I taken charge of? So that makes me very proud. Good evening. I wanted to ask you whether the fact that you're the only happy Italian here in Germany is a source of pride. No, you're lying. No, why? No, I'm not competing against other Italians. Ever since I've started doing this job, I've always cheered on coaches that work abroad. Always, because it opens up a new market, and I still believe that. So if an Italian coach does well overseas, then it's like a positive advertisement for all of us. So absolutely not. But I also wanted to ask you whether you've got your own back on the Italian game because you were sort of ignored by the Italian game. No, I started very young in Italy. I had some great success. I coached Roma in the Champions League. I coached Sevilla in the Champions League. I won a last 16 match at Old Trafford. I went through there, if I'm not mistaken. We had 3 wonderful years with Fiorentina. And that was something new at that stage, without defensive midfielders, if you remember that. It's not only Italian football. You can coach and teach football all over the place. I'm very happy in Turkey. I made an awkward decision 3 years ago, a difficult decision, but I took on a challenge, and I've got nothing against anyone else. That's not part of my character. I hadn't given that much thought, to be honest. If I'm being compared to these 2 legends that have made Turkish football history for decades, then it's a huge source of pride. I'm delighted about that. I can't say anything else than that. They're 2 footballing monuments in Turkey. I know Fatih very well as well. We hold each other in very high esteem. We met each other a few months ago, and he showed great affection towards me. He was born in Adana, And so therefore that's probably why I'm even closer to him. I also coached Fiorentina where he coached. I coached Milan where Fatih Terim coached as well. Now I was in Adanaspor where he was born. Now I'm at the Turkish national team where he made history for this country from a footballing perspective. So thank you very much. That's a huge source of pride. Yes, we've got a huge following. There's passion and love. It's really visceral back home in Turkey. So I'm very happy to have handed our Turks here in Germany a bit of pride, Turkish people all over the world, and the Turkish people, of course, back home in Turkey. So this responsibility, this love and support, we constantly feel it. But you can only really embrace these dreams if you work hard right from day one. We've done that right from the outset. We'll really celebrate tonight, but as of tomorrow we get down to work because we've got a game against the Netherlands and that's right around the corner. Right from the first game, speaking about our group stage, but also other groups, there hasn't been a single easy game. Almost every match at Euro 2024 has been down to the wire up until the 90th minute. Maybe one game, but you can count those on the fingers of one hand. So I expect it to be an uncertain game as well, our next match. So anything is possible in football, and even more so at Euro 2024.
Coach, first of all, congratulations for the win. Now, everyone is, of course, asking questions about the next game, but I'd like to share some information. In the last game we played against the Netherlands, the score was 6-1. Maybe this is a message from the universe to us. What do you think?
No, I didn't know that. I know that we've also beaten the Netherlands in the past, but every match is different. We need to think about maintaining our spirit, our togetherness, our belief, but we need to keep our feet on the ground and constantly think about what has allowed us to experience evenings such as these. And no one hands these to you on a silver platter unless you can actually achieve it step by step.
So we have to sustain our togetherness. That's what the coach said. And our determination, our belief, our faith, we'll have to maintain that, and we'll have to take it step by step in this tournament. We all know this.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure we necessarily can request that. We have a quarter-final to play. Our first task is to prepare well for the next game, win the quarter-final, and try and win that game. It's not that if you play well in that next game, you're directly into the final. If that were the case, then maybe I would already start to think about the final. But you've got to take things one step at a time.
Emre Tanuver from GZT Sports. Coach, you sometimes refer to controlling our emotions at these press conferences, and the national team plays with a lot of passion. What percentage of the football we're playing is passion, and what percentage is the systems we're putting on the pitch?
When I say you need to manage our emotions, not always, but if I'm talking about that previous match, I was saying that our emotions got the better of us. There was a lot of pressure on us, a lot of expectations, and we made life a little bit difficult for ourselves. We wanted to win the game too much, and we were a little bit afraid to win almost. We didn't have that today. We did what we needed to tonight. We dug in when we needed to. No one stepped back. As for formations and systems, I don't necessarily believe too much in formations. Every formation has its strengths and weaknesses, but choosing a game plan and a strategy, in order to do so, you need to say, I can only do so because I see the players day in, day out on the training ground, how they are physically and mentally, and therefore, on the basis of that, you choose the game plan to implement, also based on the opposition.
A minor correction, what the coach said is, of course, the coach believes in tactics, and from game to game, and depending on the opponent, he tries to, and we try to implement the tactics that are necessary.
Congratulations. Two quick things. You won a trophy with Milan, but is this the greatest night of your coaching career, or is it up there with that trophy you won? And in terms of preparing your next match, you've got Hakan Çalhanoğlu back for your next game. You've got 2 suspensions. I think you also need to have a look at the fitness levels of your players, because they might not necessarily be up to the level of these guys who play these games week in, week out. Is it an advantage that the Netherlands don't necessarily know what to expect from Turkey? You can play with Arda Güler as a false 9, with Yilmaz higher up the pitch. You can play a back 4, a back 5. It's quite fun, isn't it, for Turkey to try and prepare for this game? At least I hope that's the case for you. It's a bit of a headache rather than being fun. I can't remember your first question, sorry. Oh, no. One win doesn't erase another. If I go back in time, of course, the Milan victory, lifting a piece of silverware, was wonderful, because there aren't too many coaches that can claim that over the course of their career. So that stays with me. But this is another level. This is a new dimension. You're representing a country on the European stage. You're representing a country, not just a club side. I don't know. I don't know how to necessarily compare them or weigh them up. This one probably a bit more, because it's fresh and I'm enjoying it now. As for the tactical perspective, we've got a number of situations. We need to rest up our physical and mental energy. We will have 2 suspensions in midfield. Hakan Çalhanoğlu will come back in, and we need to get down to work. We need to get down to work to try and understand things and pick the best possible team.